Good morning, everyone. Pete Pardo here from the Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of our rant series. Today, kind of an impromptu rant brought upon by the news report this morning that Journey have fired longtime bassist, in fact, founding bassist Ross Valory and longtime drummer Steve Smith. Okay, so basically fired from the band by Neil Schon and Jonathan Cain. Apparently, if you read, there's a press release released this morning from their Los Angeles law firm, Miller Barrandess LLP, basically saying that those two have been relieved of their services. Basically, what they tried to do is instigate a coup from behind the scenes within Nightmare Productions, which is the band, the kind of company that Journey started to kind of keep, all the memorabilia and all the band relations and all that kind of stuff. Just a way to kind of support the band for the rest of their days. Basically, what they did apparently is they went behind the scenes and tried to oust both Schon and Cain as board members or whatever, and instill themselves in their place as a way to get equal shares in the band, all right? Or, there's a lot of ways you can interpret this. Valory and Smith are the two oldest guys in the band, right? Not sure exactly how old they are. They're probably in their about 70, maybe early 70s. You got to think that both of these guys at some point in the not-too-distant future probably want to retire from performing, you would think. Considering neither one of these guys had a hand in writing much of anything, Valory co-wrote some stuff over the years, but it's not like these guys are making huge bank on royalties because not the big songwriters in the band. All right, in the history of the band, the majority of the songwriting was Schon, Greg Raleigh, Steve Perry, Jonathan Cain. I mean, they did the bulk of the writing. Okay, so you got to wonder if they're thinking, we kind of want to bow out soon, but man, we don't want to miss out on any of the cashola, right? Maybe there's a way we can kind of do something to put ourselves in a position to keep collecting paychecks long after we're out of the band so that, they keep going on and we collect some money. I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me. You got to think there's probably a better way this could have happened. I mean, I'm sure if you look at all the guys in the band, I'm sure that Schon and Cain are making the most money, right? Pineda, kind of the new guy on the block, even though he's been in the band for over a decade, probably being paid like a sideman. All right. Steve Smith's come and gone from the band a few times. He's probably, on a similar level. Valory as a co-founding member, all right, I'm sure he's making more. But, again, this is all about money, all right? It just goes to show you how much the music industry is a business. And it's all about money. It's all about greed. Could there have been a better way to handle this? Absolutely, right? Could they have gone to the other guys and say, hey, here's the situation? Valory especially, because he's been there since the beginning. But, it all comes down to cash. It all comes down to cash. And it's kind of really a shame. It's just funny because the band Journey has had all sorts of stuff going on behind the scenes in recent years. Because you got Jonathan Cain is married to that kind of was a Christian evangelist or whatever. And I know that Neil has had issues with that. That couple have been very outspoken about things that's rubbed Neil the wrong way. There was a report like a year or so ago that Schon was pissed off that Cain and Pineda were endorsing, Donald Trump, and he was considering sacking them at the time. All right, you heard all these rumors. Again, I don't know how much was rumors, how much is true. Then you had Neil playing with some of the, with Greg Raleigh. All right, and Dean Castronova doing a lot of the old Journey stuff. Pretty cool. So, there's been a lot of weird stuff going on in the Journey camp in recent years. Okay, they haven't released any new albums since the Eclipse record, got over a decade ago now. But you can't deny that Journey touring is a money-making machine, still to this day. All right, Journey songs still bring in, and Journey albums bring in a lot of money in royalties. So this is a moneymaker. Big time. And Schon and company want to keep this thing going on. So I don't know. Could something have been worked out behind the scenes? Maybe. But I'm thinking if I was Schon and Cain, finding out if indeed this is the way it happened, we haven't heard anything out of the Valory or Smith camp, if indeed they were going behind the scenes and trying to unseat those guys just to better benefit themselves, come on, could have been a better way to do this, right, guys? Come on. But, I've long had the opinion that the guys in this band are not buddies. I think there's a lot of bands out there who have been together a long time, especially with a lot of original members, and there have been, breakups and people have come and gone. It's all about money, folks. These guys ain't friends. They're not blood brothers, nothing like that. This is a job, all right? They get on stage, they play, they get off, they go their separate ways. They're not sharing hotel rooms. They're probably not sharing the same buses. They're not traveling to the arenas together. They're not having dinner together. None of that stuff. Probably another reason why they're not making albums together. Because the day of the album is kind of long gone. But I just I doubt these guys could get along in the studio long enough, right? I mean, shit. It's fairly obvious. On stage, they're gold, but. So I don't know, and you got a lot of people who are screaming, "Oh, now that these two guys are gone, it's nothing but a tribute band." I mean, come on. They've had a few drummers over the years. Okay, they they always go on with or without. They'll get another drummer. As far as bass players, I mean, this they had American Idol guy Randy. God, I'm forgetting his last name. I'm totally forgetting his last name. You know who he is. He replaced Valory in the mid-'80s after he was sacked. That didn't last too long, and then Ross came back. So, they'll go out and get another rhythm section. They'll continue doing, maybe they'll ask Dean Castronova to come back in, although I don't know if that bridge has been burned. So, they'll continue going on as if nothing happened. I'll miss Steve Smith in the band. Because quite frankly, he's one of my favorite drummers. He's awesome. But Steve has got a very, busy jazz career outside of Journey. I think the only reason he came back to Journey was to make the bucks, right? Because he's making a hell of a lot more money touring with Journey every summer than he makes probably in 3 years playing jazz with Vital Information. That's just the sad truth, all right? But, if you ask Steve what his favorite music is to play, I'm sure he's going to say doing my jazz thing. As far as Ross goes, I mean, Ross has been in the band since the beginning. Do these guys really need the money that bad that this had to happen? Do they really need? I mean, how much money can you possibly need? Right? Jeez, if I was like 70 years old and I had like tens of millions of dollars in the bank, why go through all this? When is enough enough? I don't know. I don't get it. But hey, I'm not them. So just for me, on the same token, you've got... A couple weeks ago, we heard that KK Downing, former founding member and guitar player of Judas Priest, decided to come out of retirement and form KK's Priest, along with Tim Ripper Owens on vocals. Okay, Les Binks, one of their old drummers, on drums, a couple other newer guys. So now you got going to have the two kind of warring Priest factions, And, of course, all the old-school Priest fans who, scream, "Oh, Priest nowadays is nothing but a tribute band," they're all going to go support KK, all right? And, as far as KK, I mean, I love KK. We all love KK. But, he retired from the band for a bunch of reasons, all right? He was citing he couldn't deal with the grind anymore. He had, if you read his book, he had issues with Glenn Tipton, okay? Which came out in the book. He had some issues with Halford, right? He decided enough is enough. I'm getting older. I need to, take life a little bit different, go down a different road, enjoy being at home with the family and all that kind of stuff. Probably figured that Priest was almost done anyway. I'm sure that's what he thought. Priest is on its last leg, so I'm going to bow out now. They'll finish up a tour or two, and then they'll be done, and that'll be the end of it. But he sees that Priest is still going on strong, released a couple albums, okay, doing the 50th anniversary tour. There's no stopping that juggernaut. So he's probably like, oh, shit, I want to get back into the action. Well, you already released the book. You already kind of burned that bridge. They're not interested now. So what's the obvious next thing to do? I want to get back out on the road. I'll start up my own version of Judas Priest. Here we go now, right? So apparently the guys in Journey can't, the two guys just got sacked from Journey can't do that. Apparently the court orders that they cannot go out under anything that has the name Journey in it. Okay? And quite frankly, I mean, let's be frank. Love Ross Valory, but is anybody really going to cry about this that much? I love Steve Smith, okay? But do we want to hear Steve Smith and Ross Valory going out and starting up their own version of Journey? First of all, it's not going to happen because I can't imagine these guys will be interested in doing that, right? It's like people, Neil Schon is the guy, right? Jonathan, some of us would rather see Greg Raleigh in the band. I love Greg Raleigh. But, for many, many people, Jonathan Cain is that other guy. Okay? Steve Perry is not coming out of retirement. That's not happening. I know people would love that. Arnel Pineda, I'm a big fan. I think he's a great lead singer, great frontman, great find, So, I don't know. I think Journey's going to be just fine here. They're going to go on doing what they're doing. But it's just a weird, interesting scenario that just kind of came out of nowhere. Right. But again, I can't say I'm surprised. I can't say I'm surprised because I just don't think these guys really liked each other much. This was not a brotherhood in this band. I think it's all about the money, as it is with a lot of these groups. And in the end, these two guys got greedy, always wanting more. And I think the other guys were just kind of like, hey, we're not letting you do this. We think you get what you deserve, and that's it. So, they're both sides kind of at fault here. All right. Got the one side who probably should have been giving these guys a better cut, making them feel more secure for their future, because I think that's what it comes down to. But then I think the other guy's kind of foolish to think they're going to unseat Schon and Cain. And just kind of, how is this ever going to happen? There's no way that's going to be allowed to happen. It's just not, nobody, honestly, we love you two guys, but nobody wants you two guys leading this band. It's just not the way it's going to work. All right. I get that you want to secure your future and everything like that, but there's got to be better ways to handle this. And, we don't know what happens behind the scenes. We don't know how many times they've asked or we have no idea. Maybe that'll come out at some point. But for now, they're gone. So that's the news flash for today. It's my rant. So Valory and Smith out of Journey, fired by the band for trying to start up a coup d'etat, right, to take over the all the business dealings of the band. So curious to see what you guys think about this whole situation. Some of us probably could care less, but it's not today's news item, right? So I figured I'm a fan of the band, so anytime something happens with these guys, I'm kind of like, oh shit, But the Juggernaut will go on. They got a tour starting, I think, in May. So everything I've read says that they're going to go out and find their new rhythm section imminently. I'm sure they'll announce that within a week or two, and boom, rehearsals will start, and that's that. On with the show, right? Anyway, this is on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're on YouTube all the damn time. We'll see you guys. We got coming up, ranking the albums. Shooting Star, ranking the albums, Heart. That's all coming up later today, or if not tomorrow, right? And all sorts of stuff happening over the weekend. So we'll see you guys then, all right? Take care. Bye-bye.